Commission, Musa Faki Mahamat, the spokesperson, Ebba Kalondo on the line. Ebba, very good morning and thank you so much for speaking to us.
Good morning to you.
And just to start off the conversation, we're going to bring up a tweet that Mr. Musa Faki Mahamat tweeted yesterday saying, "It is with an undescribable sense of loss that I learned of the passing of His Excellency Kenneth Kaunda, first President of the Republic of Zambia and one of the founding fathers of the Organization of African Unity. My deepest condolences to his family, the people and government of Zambia." This summarizes the reaction from the Commission. What sort of conversations are taking place now in reaction to the passing of the African baobab?
Well, I think the feelings are probably shared continent-wide, if not beyond our continent. It's certainly a very, very poignant moment for all of us on the continent because His Excellency Kaunda was the last remaining of the founding fathers of the Organization of African Unity, which you know was the forerunner of the African Union today. He really represented not only the memory, but almost the raison d'être of how and why the African Union exists. To have been one of the only, he was really the sole surviving founding father who attended that inaugural OAU summit in 1963. And with him, a very, very, very important era of our history, which certainly will be part of our future, has gone. So in that sense, he embodied the truest sense of Pan-Africanism by placing his own country, Zambia, at the time, at very grave risk repeatedly in order to provide not only safe harbor, but technical, material, financial support to the liberation movements of Southern Africa and all its peoples until they gained independence. It's certainly a blessing and out of his memory that he was able to live to see the liberation of all those countries. And certainly his championing of the frontline states, if you remember, to defeat apartheid and white minority rule in South Africa, also laid the foundation for what we today call regional and continental integration today. Maybe you might recall last year on Africa Day, which was probably his last public address, where he addressed the African Union on Africa Day, saying that this regional integration, which had started with political integration and liberation, now needs to be taken forward through the flagship project of the African Continental Free Trade Area. That's for a truly unified and to regain and retrieve the dignity of our people. That this free trade area agreement is the next part of the liberation struggle for Africa.
You talk about that being a flagship project at this moment, and there was a time when the big project was the Vision 2063 for the African Union. Just in terms of Dr. Kaunda's advice to the organization as it goes through these dynamic periods?
Sorry, I didn't catch that. The line is not very good.
What kind of interaction has the African Union Commission kept with Dr. Kaunda through these changing times?
Well, you know, Dr. Kaunda, like I said, as the founding father, has never not been part of the African Union project. In fact, has always been at the forefront of it. So whether it is the political liberation of all member states, pushing, and during the 80s when the continent was reeling under the AIDS pandemic, he was not only one of its champions in terms of making sure that the continent's interests were taken to heart, but put his personal story and that of his family to the fore to advocate for AIDS awareness and to make sure that people were aware that it was something that that cut through age, and social class. These were very important parts of his relationship with the African Union ideals, but certainly also with the organization. Like I said, his last public address was only last year, and just last month, I think, he was the African Union also honored him for his towering achievement towards African integration and certain unity with a special award. I do think that more thought will now be put into what more can be done to make sure that we're able to honor his legacy in more overt and permanent ways.
Ebba, I know at this moment we're just talking about reactions. We hope to talk to you another time just in terms of looking at the full legacy of this African giant. Thank you so much for your time this morning.